Hello everyone, my name is Luca Desmarais.
And I'm Cassandra Primiani.
And today we're going to be discussing Susan Rosinko's article, The Last Romantic, Henry Boot alias Tom Stoppard, which explores Tom Stoppard's play, The Real Thing, as it marks a turning point in his career, stylistically, emotionally, and most importantly, personally.
Right, and Rosinko argues that the play's main character, Henry, is a version of Stoppard himself. She even nicknames him Henry Boot, which combines a character's name with William Boot, a pseudonym that Stoppard used early in his journalism career.
So, in other words, she thinks that The Real Thing is not just a play about love and playwriting, but it's also a play where Stoppard is revealing something about himself, and he's using one of the characters specifically as an extension of himself.
Right. Rosinko's main argument is that The Real Thing shows Tom Stoppard moving away from the clever, ironic, typical brainy plays and more towards something that's vulnerable and emotional.
So, in her article, she references a few of Tom Stoppard's previous plays, those being The Travesties, Rosencrantz, Guildenstern Are Dead. So, in these plays, Stoppard's characters are more focused on discussing ideas, philosophy, art, but they don't really have that much emotions. There's not that much emotional development or emotional depth. So Rosinko says that this really changes in The Real Thing. Henry, the protagonist, goes through a major emotional change.
Right.
Which can, of course, be seen in Stoppard. So she points to a key moment in the play, like when Henry compares writing to the crafting of a cricket bat, and he says that it has to be carefully crafted, not just a lump of wood. And I think that scene really represents
his belief.
Yeah, it represents his belief that writing should be elegant, precise, intellectual. And I think this is actually clearly the same way that Tom Stoppard feels about writing. I think it has to be more of an intellectual endeavor. You know, we see him critique in the play Brody's writing. He's not a great writer. His playwriting is more centered on emotional and story writing, but he doesn't care about that, and he critiques and only looks at the literature element, the English element of it.
Right. Rosinko also says that the play is full of theatrical layers, so plays within plays, and those scenes reflect the characters' real relationships. For example, Henry writes a play about a cheating wife, and then he ends up in the same situation in real life when Annie starts falling for someone else.
So it's like he's being forced to live out his own plays, except for he can't control the outcome.
Right. To move on to connections, in The Real Thing, Henry is married to Annie, right, an actress, and the relationship starts off strong, but over time, she grows emotionally close to her co-star Billy.
So the big scene, which is one that we're actually going to be reenacting for our project here, is the one where Henry confronts Annie, about her feelings for Billy, of course, and it's a raw and emotional scene, and he wants to believe in true, exclusive love, but Annie tells him that it's more complicated than that, and we see that in their interaction. There's a lot of manipulation and blurring around the lines. It's not honest, and you can see there's a pretty big distinction between both characters on a emotional and relationship level.
Absolutely. Yeah, Rosinko sees that scene as a turning point. I mean, the moment when Henry drops the irony and just becomes so real. She believes it's the first time that Stoppard ever wrote about a character who experiences this kind of deep emotional change. Yeah.
So Rosinko is saying that The Real Thing is more than just, clever in its writing. It's also has the message. That message being how difficult it can be to be vulnerable with somebody and expose kind of that side of you, that uncertain side of you.
Right. Moving on to critiques.
Right. So, of course we found that Rosinko's reading was really helpful, specifically in kind of understanding Henry as a character and his connection to Tom Stoppard as a writer. Of course, we see kind of Henry as an extension of Tom Stoppard. However, there are a few limitations to the critique that we found that we're going to be delving into. But first, we're going to be discussing
the positives. Limitations or arguments critiques that we found. So first of all, she gives great insight into Henry's character and his emotional transformation. She also shows the structure of the play, how the structure of the play, with all the plays within plays, mirrors the theme of truth versus performance. She helps explain why this play feels more personal and grounded than Stoppard's earlier, more brainy work,
Right. So Rosinko makes a really brilliant point in her article, and I'm going to read it because it's a quote. She says that Stoppard's greatest irony in The Real Thing is that he must use artifice to argue for authenticity. Every polished line, every meta-theatrical wink becomes a paradoxical confession, sincerity delivered through performance. It's as if Henry Boot can only tell the truth by writing a lie beautifully.
Yeah, that's such a good observation. I mean, it really captures how The Real Thing uses structure and performance, not just to hide sincerity, but to actually reach it.
Right. So, we're going to be moving on to the limitations, the critiques of
her article.
Thank you. So, we think that she focuses almost too much on Henry. The focus is entirely on him, almost, and I think that she doesn't really give enough attention to the female characters, that being Annie and Charlotte. Right, so mainly Annie, I think we see there's a lot of side quests that she's going through, right? Mm-hmm. When she's working with Billy on the play, when she's coming back from Gutenslav or whatever it's called.
Right.
Anyways, we don't really see that. We don't see that perspective of her, and I think that's something that's missing in the play. And of course, then there's a missing perspective to analyze her character.
Right, and I mean, just a point to add to your point. I mean, she's arguably more emotionally honest than Henry. She can actually admit that she's torn or that she's lying. She won't try to hide anything. She just tells the truth.
Right, and we see that when she's being called out on her lies, she admits them. And yeah, she doesn't go back on them, I suppose, which is a good thing. Right. So also Charlotte, which is Henry's ex-wife, I believe, calls him out for writing weak female characters in his plays, and I think from a feminist standpoint, that could have been a really interesting topic to
criticize.
To analyze and delve into.
I mean, Rosinko also kind of assumes that Henry's emotional journey is Stoppard's own, but that's risky. Just because a character is, seems autobiographical, doesn't mean everything Henry says is Stoppard's personal belief.
There should be a distinction between both, and it'd be, again,
absolutely
a little bit naive to think that.
I mean, overall, I think Rosinko's article helped us understand how The Real Thing is a play about writing, love, and emotional truth, and how Henry is a very different kind of Stoppard character.
Right, but we think the article could have also pushed further by asking whether Henry is really the hero here, or whether the women around him are actually the ones being brave. Like I mentioned, there's a lack of exploration in the different perspectives and the different experiences of the characters of the play.
Yeah, absolutely. So while we agree with Rosinko's idea that The Real Thing is about emotional growth, we also think that the play's message is a lot more complicated and really worth taking the time to question.
Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello. How was it?
We had a good finish. A woman in the audience was sick. Billy came on and he had my heart skewered on his dagger. And, whoops.
I thought you were coming back overnight.
What have you been doing? How's the film?
I thought you were on the sleeper.
What's the matter?
I was wondering what happened to you.
Nothing happened to me. Have you had lunch?
No. Did you catch the early train this morning then?
Yes, scratch lunch already. My God, it's all gone downhill since Sunday. Hasn't Mrs. Chamberlain been?
I phoned the hotel, you know.
What?
Last night they said you checked out.
Did they? Oh God, Hen. Wow, we had burglars? What have you been doing?
Where were you?
On the sleeper. I don't know why I said I came back this morning. I just thought it'd be easier this way. I wasn't home last night because I took the train straight after the theater.
Was the train late arriving?
Do you want to see my ticket?
Or were you at the zoo? Who were you with?
Don't be like this, Hen. You're not like
I
this.
am like this.
I don't like this. I don't want you to be. It's humiliating.
I'm really not trying to humiliate you.
No, I mean, it's humiliating for you. I traveled down with one of the company. We had breakfast in Houston. He was waiting for his train. I started talking. And then I came home and not thinking that suddenly after 2.5 years, I'd have to take account for my movements.
So you got off the train and you spent the morning sitting at the Euston station.
Yes.
You and this actor.
Yes. Can I go now?
How'd you sleep? Did you?
Did I what? What's the point? You'd only ask if I was lying.
Would you lie?
I might.
Did you?
No. You see, I'm gonna go back and tidy this mess.
Do you want to know what I was looking for?
No. Did you find it?
No. Was it Billy?
Why, Billy?
It's always Billy. Billy, Billy, Billy. The name keeps dropping each time without any significance, like it can't help itself. Hapless like a secret in a computer. Bing, bing. Billy, Billy. Talk to me. Sorry about the bedroom.
Should have put everything back. Everything would be the way it was.
You can't put everything back. Talk to me, I'm your chap. I know about this. We start off like one of those caterpillars designed for a particular leaf. The exclusive veracity of love, and then not. How strange that the way of things is not suspended to meet our special case. But it never is. I don't want anyone else, but surprisingly, there's someone. Not the prettiest or the most available, but I know that in another life, it would be her. Or him. Don't you find? A small quickening, the room responds slightly to being entered like a raised blind. Nothing intended and a long way from doing anything, but you catch a glimpse of being someone else's possibility, and it's a sort of politeness to show that you haven't missed it, so you push a little, well within safety. There's a sense of promise being made in all the touching and the kissing, and no one can seem to say good morning in this Ponzi business, and one more push would do it. It's Billy, right?
Yes.
I love you.
And I you. I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
And tell me.
I love you.
Not that.
Yes, that. That'd be all I need to know.
You'd want more.
No.
I need it. I can manage knowing if you did it, but I cannot manage not knowing if you did it or not. I won't be able to work.
Speaking of.